everyone. Happy Small Business Month and welcome to BBB Trust Talks. My name is Carla Laird and I'm the Manager for Community and Public Relations at BBB Serving Mainland BC. My co-host and event facilitator for today is Prana Sharma, and she is our Marketing and Events Coordinator. We are absolutely excited to commence the second episode in our limited interview series where we have a quick, intimate conversation with some of our accredited small business owners across the province. Today, we will be speaking with Chad Ludbrook, and he's the owner for ASAP Office Supplies. Hi, Chad. Welcome to BBB Trust Talks, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you for having me.
So before we dive into your business story, let's get to know a little bit about you. Who is Chad Ludbrook?
Father of two, husband, entrepreneur. I love sports. Season ticket holder for the Canucks for 15 years. So we watch a lot of hockey, play a lot of sports. Stay-at-home dad. I take my kids to school every day, pick them up from school every day. That's about it.
Yeah. So, you just mentioned that you are a stay-at-home dad. What is your experience juggling business and family, especially as a father?
Busy. I've been a stay-at-home dad now 7 years. I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. My son's in school. My daughter's not. She's only 4, so she's with me 5 days a week. My wife's a full-time teacher, so she's not here during the day. And I try and do as much my business before the kids wake up. So I'm up at 5:30, get a couple hours work done before they're awake, before they come down. And then, when they go to bed, I try and get another couple hours done. So I try and do a lot of the stuff when they're not here. Any stuff that really requires my attention during the day, I'll respond to emails and answer my phone. But I try and do the most of the stuff when they're asleep or not here.
Yeah, so you basically had to adjust your lifestyle, your timing, and fit everything around your family to make sure your business stays afloat.
Yeah, and when I started the business 13 years ago, I specifically built the business knowing I was going to have a family. And I've structured the business in a way that really allows me the flexibility to do that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow, sounds like you're a man with a plan, Chad.
I read somewhere when you start a business, you should start with the end in mind. What's your end goal? And try and start and plan accordingly to get to that point. So, yeah.
Wow, that's great advice. Carla mentioned earlier that the name of your business is ASAP Office Supplies. So right away, I start thinking about speedy access to stationery. But tell us, what is the story behind the start of your business?
Sure. I used to work for a Fortune 500 company called Pitney Bowes, big company. They're in the postage meter business. They've been there for 100 years. I was selling the machines to customers. I left there and started a restaurant out in Langley. During that time, I had a bunch of my old customers asking where to buy ink because the ink from Pitney Bowes is very, very expensive. So I looked into it. I sourced it elsewhere. I started selling it into the trunk of my car when customers were calling me. And because it was in the trunk of my car, I could just drive to them right away. So ASAP made sense. I can get it to them within 15 minutes. Most of my customers were here in Langley, where I'm based. I would have staff at the restaurant. They'd man the store, and then I'd just drive off, deliver the ink. So that's where ASAP came from. And it was just postage meter ink at the time, just 13 years ago. And eventually it became, I had to not really hire my own people, but I've outsourced the shipping. I've outsourced my fulfillment, outsourced my warehouse. So I've gone from a few products to tens of thousands of products now.
Wow. And from the back of your car to a great warehouse and a whole office and everything.
Yeah, well, it's my home office still. I don't have office space. I don't need it because I'm the only employee. It's just me.
Right.
I have partnered with many other people and companies. So I've outsourced as much as I could. I've outsourced my bookkeeping, outsourced my accounting. I've outsourced my fulfillment, like my packaging, my labeling, my boxing, my shipping, warehousing. I've outsourced all that. So
great.
basically no overhead, which is nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I know your business has been around for, 15 years. During this time, I'm sure it has gone through at least some changes to its business model, like you were just dipping into. Focusing more on the products and services, where did it start? And, when you first opened your business, and what are the products and services you offer now?
Yeah, every few years I try to add a new product line. Um, a colleague that I knew, I met him at the gym. He owned Super Save Gas in Langley, Super Save Group, and he gave me some advice that every 7 years he launches a new product line. Wow. Super Save Gas, Super Save Propane, Super Save Shredding, Super Save Fencing. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense, because if one part of the business suffers, you have the other part of the business to keep it.
Right.
So when I first started, my business was called ASAP Meter Inc. because I just sold postage meter ink. Then after a few years, it became ASAP Office Supplies. I started selling office supplies, just like a Staples or Grand & Toy. Basically, we have 21,000 products, anything from paper to desks to file cabinets, bookshelves to paper clips and staplers. So pretty much everything. Wow. And then a couple years after that, I started doing custom printing. So one of the divisions is called ASAP Custom Printing, where we do business cards, letterhead, envelopes, checks, pretty much any kind of printing that businesses need, we handle. And then a few years after that, COVID hit, and now we have a division called ASAP PPE, so protective equipment. So we have gloves and masks and sanitizer and dispensers and disinfectants and all those type of products. So just a few years, I added a new product line. So when COVID did hit, people weren't in their offices. So they're needing office supplies. I had a lot more business from home, like people working from home. They needed to set up their home desks and home offices. Right. I was selling stuff there, but that's when the PPE stuff just took off.
Wow. Yeah. Just listening to you, it sounds like you've really, one of the big things behind your business is that you adapt, and your inventory adapts with whatever is going on in the marketplace or in just customers' lives on a daily basis. And that, I think, is extremely important for businesses, especially now. And, just listening to all of that, what would you say makes your business unique when compared to others in your industry?
The fact that I just work from home. Most of my competitors in my industry, Staples, they have a big brick and mortar store. Other companies, they have their delivery drivers. They have lots of staff answering phones. I don't need any of that. I've automated most of my business. Okay. So when customers order on the website, it automatically goes to the warehouse. So I don't know what my customers are ordering. I don't see their orders. I don't fulfill their orders. I don't have to hold any inventory in-house. I partnered with a large company called SP Richards. Yeah. They are a sister company to Napa Auto Parts, owned by UAP Group. So they have multiple warehouses all across North America. So whichever one of my customers, say, is in Calgary or Vancouver, it gets shipped from the Vancouver warehouse or the Calgary warehouse, depending which warehouse is closest. And then from there, once it ships, it automatically goes to my QuickBooks. So it's just in the computer program in the back end. I don't see it. Then it just pops up in my QuickBooks. End of the day, I hit send invoice and it just sends it to my customers. I don't see it. There's a link there. Customers can click on the link, pay by credit card, and I don't have to do any of the bookkeeping stuff in QuickBooks to say it gets paid. It automatically just gets done for me.
Very nice. Yeah. I think what I'm hearing is that you can be a business owner if you have an idea and you've conceptualized it, and you don't need to feel like you can't do it on your own, which I think is a good takeaway for potential business owners out there.
Yeah, I wanted the flexibility to travel. We've traveled to lots of places all around the world for months at a time, and people don't even know I'm not here. They can email me, they can call me, everything still functions as if I was right here in my home office.
And that is very good. Yeah, that's great, especially with the family. Yeah.
And Chad, you were just mentioning that, once COVID hit, you had to pivot your business and cater to, suddenly, people working from home and offices, not requiring office supplies as much. So can you give us a little more, information about how exactly you managed the whole, pivoting your business to cater to COVID and, and what measures you implemented basically during this time?
Yeah. The first 2 months, I really didn't do much. I sort of just stayed at home with the kids, jumped on the trampolines, swam in the pool. So the government announced that $40,000 loan to the banks. So I saw that as an opportunity to borrow that $40,000 and really buy a lot of inventory, which I've never had to do before because I don't inventory my own product. All the people that were ordering gloves and masks and sanitizer, that was on back order around the world. Purell, Clorox, Lysol, those things are back ordered for months. So I'm sourcing product locally. So I've got a number of companies that I've ordering from now in Abbotsford, Surrey, Langley, Vancouver that make masks, make sanitizer, make face shields, make all that stuff locally. So I bought it from them locally, had it shipped to my fulfillment warehouse, and now I've actually had to inventory the product to get through this COVID thing. So that $40,000 from the government really helped out there.
Yeah.
I have over $120,000 in inventory now sitting in the warehouse that I've been selling and actually have stock of. So, because for the first 2 months, like I said, I was just sitting around not doing much because everything people was ordering was all back ordered. I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
So then by that 40 grand, I just bought a bunch of inventory and now fulfill all the orders that customers were wanting. So it's been good. As the other part of your question, I think, was what have I been doing in terms of...
I was just going to ask, because you had a couple of months, to prepare and set up new inventory and all of that. I was just getting into the COVID bit and keeping, your staff and customers safe. So what measures have you implemented to keep, your staff and customers safe during this time?
Well, I have no staff and I have no customers on site. So to keep my customers, I guess, when they order from me, I do send them a free sample pack of wipes in every order. So it's like hand wipes. We also have surface wipes, but I send them a small sample pack of a hand wipe. And I have just been letting customers know that I have this PPE in stock. So all my customers order postage meter supplies and custom printing, just for them, the fact that they need to know that I have this stuff. So I'm a member of a few different boards of trade and chambers of commerce. So I've done a few like e-blasts through them, letting customers know that we have all this product in stock too. So I guess that's how I'm trying to keep customers safe, by offering product to them and actually having the product that they can use.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a difference.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't know.
Exactly.
Like, well, we can't find it anywhere. We go to Costco, we see Costco Lysol wipes. Well, you got to 9 o'clock in the morning and you only allow one per customer.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the city of Vancouver just ordered like 720 containers of wipes from me.
Right.
They couldn't do that if they go to Costco. They can order 1 or 2 boxes of wipes or boxes of masks. So just because I have the inventory now, I wasn't limited in quantities for my customers.
Okay.
And those customers were keeping their customers safe at the same time. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually a great initiative because bulk orders is what most of them were looking for, and it's great to have someone in the market who can supply to them and not have them wait, right?
Yeah. I'm making notes because I want wipes too, so I know exactly where I'm going to be going shortly. I think one of the questions that popped in my head with just listening to you speak is the fact that you said your business has been around and you've been operating for over a decade, almost 15 years. So what would you say has contributed to the endurance and success of your small business, especially when you're looking at the fact that you've actually managed to navigate COVID-19?
I'd say just consistency. I wasn't trying to grow too big, too fast. I basically just go to work every day. I mean, some people take vacations. I never can do that. Even when I'm on vacation, I still have my headset on. I still answer the phone. I still wake up early and I check my emails before my kids get up, whether I'm in Hawaii or Mexico or Disneyland. I'm still working every day. So, I mean, I apologize to the customers. I'm like, oh, sorry, the background noise. I'm in Disneyland. And they're like, oh, thank you so much for at least answering while you're on holidays.
Right.
I don't get any days off. When we have a holiday here in BC, Ontario customers are calling me. When we have a holiday in Ontario, I'm dealing with customers in BC, or I have customers in 26 US states that call me too.
Wow.
Even when it's all Canada holiday, I'm still getting customers in the US. So it's North America-wide business, so not much time off there.
Yeah.
I try and work between 4 and 10 hours a day. During COVID, at the last 3-4 months, it's been really busy. So I was more like 12 or 14 hours a day, but at times. When I first started the business, I was cold calling, knocking on doors. I'd visit over 100 businesses a day, collecting business cards. I'd go downtown Vancouver mainly, and I'd hit a building and knock on every single door. And when I get home, I'd enter all the business cards into my CRM system. And now I've got over 90,000 contacts in my CRM system. And over the last 12 years, since I've stopped doing the cold calling like that, like I did the first 2 years, I just drip market. So I send out an email and a fax every 6 months, once a year, just so customers know I'm still around, what I'm offering, just to keep in front of the customer. So that's one way I've basically been able to sustain the business for, like you said, 14 years, to grow it slowly. Customers that told me no 14 years ago, they've been getting one email a year from me for 14 years. They didn't buy from me.
Persistency. Yep.
Now they had to buy from me because they couldn't get masks anywhere else or sanitizer anywhere else. So forced to buy from me.
Yeah.
So that was nice. After being told from no dozens of times, now they finally order. But just things change over the years. I've stopped visiting businesses face to face because many buildings now have security and soliciting. Every business pretty much has a sign in the window that says no soliciting. So I got around that for a few years, just by actually selling no soliciting signs. If I go into a building and it calls down and says, oh, we have a sales guy coming around knocking on doors, you're not allowed to do that. Security would come up and say, sorry, you can't do that in this building. And I'm like, well, how do I sell my no soliciting signs for no soliciting then?
Genius.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think you'll have to come back for a part 2 Trust Talks with Chad, because you have so many stories to share with them.
I know. We need to set him up for a second one. This is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Chad, you said something that stuck out to me, which is the fact that your business, even though you're home-based, even though you're in Langley, you serve people across the province and across North America and possibly even outside of that. So, when it comes to even giving back from to the communities that you serve, how do you navigate that? What do you do?
I was a member of 22 chambers of commerce at one point. That became a lot. So I've really narrowed my focus now. We've done lots of different donations over the past, to the World Wildlife Fund, to the Vancouver Aquarium, to Canucks for Kids Fund, but we've really focused now just on giving back to local schools. Since my son entered school 2 years ago, I joined the school PAC, which is like the Parents Advisory Council that helps raise money for the school. I didn't realize how much work they do and how much money the schools need from parents that the district and the city does not provide.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've been doing is I've been giving 5% of all my sales to local schools.
Wow.
Not to the school themselves, to the PAC. So then the PAC, the parents decide where that money goes. Whether it's a music program, the gym equipment, a new playground. Like, playgrounds aren't even provided by the district. The parents need to raise funds for a school to get the playground. And playground equipment is super expensive.
Expensive, yes.
That's going to be my next business venture, I think.
I think so.
They are so expensive. It's insane. These people that are selling those must be making huge money. But no, I have this past September, I just donated almost $6,000 to 115 local school PACs. Some got as much as $392, I think was the most. Some schools only got $1. So it just depends. If a parent from that school orders $20 from me, they get $1. Other businesses, they order thousands and thousands of dollars every year from me, and there's kids or grandkids go to a school, and they want 5% to go to that school. So I let them pick the school that it goes to.
That's great.
In my son's school, I did have $192 go to my son's school, but most of it goes to whatever school the customers pick.
Yeah, I love that you make them involved in the process.
Yeah. Well, I want the parents involved, and
Right.
acts are about having the parents involved. So health is important. So if they tell other parents, hey, if you buy your toilet paper or paper towel from this guy, he's helping your school. So why not do it? Or if you work for a business, you're an office manager or receptionist at a business, and you want to give back to your school, but you don't have time to do it, well, your business is paying for it. Why not donate 5%? It's coming out of my end too, not their end. They don't pay more for doing it. They actually pay less. So if you look at my website, there's 2 different prices. One is the retail price if you are not selecting the school, and then a lower price is if you do donate to a school. So it's win-win for everybody. It's win for the customer, they pay less. Win for me, because it's sort of ensuring future business for me, I think. I'm hoping anyways, that's part of the reason why I do it, because I want to grow my business. And then it's also donating to the school that needs the money. So, yeah.
That's amazing, and quite a unique way to give back to the community, I must say.
Well, I saw it from Cobb's Bread. I don't know if you've heard of Cobb's Bread. Yeah, there's one here in Walnut Grove, in Langley and Walnut Grove. They were doing it. So he came to our first school PAC meeting, the first one I attended. Here's a check for $107. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. He donates 5% if you go there and you buy from them and you manage a school that you want it to go to, and then he gives you the check every September.
Wow.
So I think 7 or 8 local schools here in Langley.
Great.
So I was like, hey, I can adapt that to my business, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, giving back to the community is so important. And as you are aware, BBB works with both businesses and communities in various ways. So I'd like to understand, why did you choose to become BBB accredited?
Sometimes I wonder why I do that, because I talk to some people and they have differing opinions on if you're an accredited business, because you're paying for the membership. So some people think it's rigged. Other people think, oh, it's great. They're a trustworthy company. They vet their people. They make sure they're doing everything correct. Initially, though, why I did it was to appear bigger than I am, because I am small. Anytime I was trying to win big contracts, I would lose because there's somebody bigger out there, like Staples. It's hard to compete with $1 billion company. Pitney Bowes, $1 billion company, 25,000 employees. They're a Fortune 500 company. How do you compete with that? I've been in business at the time for 1 or 2 years. It's like, okay, they've been in business for 100 years. So I needed to get some credibility. So I joined, like I said, 22 chambers of commerce. I joined the BBB. I joined the World Trade Organization. Multiple, like if you look at my website, I have 9 different phone numbers. I have a phone number in 604 for Vancouver, 403 for Calgary, 780 for Edmonton, 905 for Toronto. I don't have offices there. It all just comes back to my cell phone. But all the people in Toronto, my customers, they think I'm local. It gets shipped from a Brampton address because that's where the warehouse I partner with is, and a warehouse in Winnipeg and Edmonton and Calgary. So those people all think it's local. So just certain things that I had to do to make myself appear bigger, just to get some of the larger customers to trust me and to try me out for the first time. So that's one of the main reasons why I joined the BBB.
Very interesting spin,
Yeah. Now that that BBB's motto is start with trust. So since you've been accredited with us for so long, I'd like to understand, why is trust an important part of your business focus?
A lot of the businesses that I don't really deal with businesses. I deal with the receptionists and office managers at the business. So it's many of the office managers that I've been dealing with over the last decade, they're not super young. maybe put it that way. So they have some supplier they've been buying from for 10 or 20 years. They've already built up the trust. So for me to gain trust quickly with them, I had to do something. And that was one way I had to go about doing it. So.
Great. So, we've spoken about the fact that you give back to your communities and you find ways to incorporate, families and other consumers that support your business. But if I'm looking at it from the reverse, why would you say it's important that people out there in the public actually invest in and even support small businesses like yours?
I mean, I've always been supporting small business. I would say buy local. We try and buy local as much as we can for every type of product. Like I said, I've been buying my sanitizer made in Abbotsford, face shields made in South Surrey, South Langley area, disinfectants made in Vancouver that I buy. I always try and support local, whether it be chamber members or BBB. I always check to make sure they're accredited, they have an A+ rating. That's just what I've always done. I just think supporting local, you have to do it. Same as when I joined my son's pack at his school. I just sort of had to do that. It just doesn't make sense not to be a part of it. It just doesn't make sense not to buy local for many reasons.
I like that answer.
Absolutely. And, speaking of small businesses, as a small business owner, looking back, what's the one memorable experience you can recall in your journey?
Memorable experience in my journey. I do really like handing it to big businesses.
Okay.
Whether it be Staples or Pitney Bowes, like they're big companies, and I really like beating them. I like winning. I don't like losing. So when I beat big companies like that, it feels good. That's not really exactly what you're looking for there, but
no,
it works.
It works.
Yeah, it gives me motivation. Small little mom and pop shops, they're my best customers. I love them. But being able to land the big fish, those for a small company, I like that.
Yeah. And then, speaking about in the land of the big fish, then, what would you say is one of the most difficult issues or even challenges you've had to overcome as a small business owner?
Just appearing bigger than I actually am. I mean, I can do everything that big companies can because I have the support of a big company as well. Like I said, NAP Auto Parts, their sister company is the office supply division that was my wholesaler. So they drop ship everything for me. So I have the support of a large company behind me doing that. Challenges to sell to the large companies, they have more manpower. They do a lot of what they call RFPs or RFQs, RFIs on BC Bid. And like BC Liquor Board, they post stuff and the RFP is like 26 pages long. I don't have time to read 26 pages I'm not getting paid salary, I'm commission. If I'm not working, I'm not making money.
That's right.
I can't spend even though I could probably win the bid because I have no overhead, I'm probably lower than the companies. I don't have time to sit there and read 26 pages of fine print. So I just say, forget it and move on to the next. So I wish companies like that wouldn't put out a 26-page RFP or RFQ. City of Burnaby does them all the time. They're so long. And I really think they already I don't know if they're getting kickbacks or how it works, but they're really tough to win those bids.
Yeah.
I can quote a random price below cost and still lose for some strange reason. I don't know why. So I find those are a struggle.
Yeah.
Try and steer away from those anyways.
That struggle too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Based on your experience, and looks like you've had a lot of experience, what
is that, the gray in the beard showing? Is that the experience you're talking about?
Yeah, I guess so. I just want to know, what are the 3 factors according to you, 3 factors of success in your industry?
I mentioned one earlier, consistency. I just do the same thing pretty much every day. I respond to customers quickly. I like, that's why, I mean, ASAP is important to me. Respond quickly to voicemails, emails, customers text me, online requests. I respond to everything quickly. I might not be the most professional all the time. I say things that just come to mind. I don't think about it too often. I'm very truthful, which sometimes gets me in hot water. I say it like it is. I don't dress the part. Like a lot of my competition, like when I was at the Fortune 500 company, Pitney Bowes, we were in suit and tie all the time. I felt like you're selling down to somebody. I mean, you're selling them a postage meter or office supplies. You don't need to be in a suit. People don't really want to see me anyways.
They just want their products.
Yeah, they prefer doing it on the phone, quick and easy, and get it over with. So I'd be going to visit businesses in shorts, golf shirt, and flip-flops. Like, that works. Customers are surprised to see that. And I'm like, well, when I was in a suit and tie coming to visit you, it's 30 degrees out. I'm dripping sweat.
That can get on a track.
Yeah, I'd rather be comfortable. People I used to work with, they go into offices and they had big pit stains and they were like dripping sweat. What's the point in that? That's not very professional. So looking casual, changing it up from your competition makes you stand out. So yeah, that's one thing I've always done, is try to stand out a little differently than my competition.
Yeah.
A third thing, I don't know.
Well, I can take two, because I think you've given us so many other nuggets right throughout this interview. So yeah. I have no problems at all. And
oh, here's one. Okay. Revenue generating activity.
Okay.
When I was starting up, I'd always try and make sure that the hours of 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 were spent focused on the customer. So all my data entry stuff was done after hours. All my emails that I do e-blast, that was done after hours. Anything that's customer related that you can talk to in front of a customer or like over the phone should be done between those hours of 8 and 5. Because you can't do that stuff afterwards.
Right.
Spend your time writing proposals during the day. Right. That's when you face to face in front of your customer. Proposal you can do at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. You don't have to do it at 3 o'clock or noon when you should be in front of the customer.
That makes perfect sense. And I think that's a good nugget for any potential business owner that's out there trying to figure out how to get themselves out and market it out there. So that's very good advice. And I think I would want to ask you now, which because of all the knowledge that you have clearly, from a consumer side, if someone is shopping around in your industry right now, what is one or two tips that you would share with them, to make sure they're buying from the right place and getting exactly what they need?
Yeah. I am one of 300 office supply dealers in Canada. There's two big companies that everybody knows, Staples and Granite Toy. They have two supply chains that are different than the rest of us. The other 300 companies are like me. Some are bigger than others. Mostly people know Mills in Vancouver. They know of Monk in Victoria. They know of Medill, Canadian Business Distributors, Canadian Office, SOS. All these guys are local in the Lower Mainland here. They're all like me. We all have the same supplier, same wholesaler, same warehouse, same website designer, same catalogs, all the same. It just how much you mark up the product. So I mark my product up 10%. I have no problem saying it. I do it across the board. All my products marked up the same. I don't value printer ink as a 25% markup and pencils as 1%. I just do 10% flat. So my recommendation for customers that are shopping around and buying, do a spreadsheet and buy it from the lowest price. I mean, service nowadays, mine's very fast, and you'll get me to answer the phone and respond to emails probably quicker than most. But pretty much it's next day service. If you place an order by 5 o'clock, you'll get it tomorrow. Doesn't matter which company you order from. So the service is pretty much the same across the board. Why waste money on office supplies? It's office supplies. And at the end of the day, it's not a fancy, sexy product. It's office supplies. You need it, you buy it, whatever. Same with toilet paper.
Right.
You need it. You wipe yourself with it. Move on. That is on the office supply side of thing. The postage meter side of the thing, that is, it's like when you buy any big ticket item, photocopiers, cars, wait to the end of the month, do it. Wait to the end of the quarter is even better, because the salesperson that's selling it to you, they have bonuses they need to hit. So they're going to do what they can to make the sale. So you always get a better price end of the month, end of the quarter.
Nice. Yeah. I think every customer would appreciate your honesty with this particular question. So thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
That's great. How can consumers get in touch with you about your products and services? Obviously, there's your bbb.org business profile. And apart from that, any other information that you'd like to share for consumers?
The website's probably the easiest.
Okay.
On there, all the divisions are on there. Phone numbers, contact information, emails, but pretty much everything is on the website, which is asapofficesupplies.com. You can register for an account. It doesn't cost anything to register. You just enter your contact details, your address. Then you have create a password and you can log in. When you log in, you get better pricing than if you just without creating an account. So you'll notice the pricing improves. And again, if you register a school on there, the pricing gets even better. If you have questions or anything, they can call me. I have no problem. My phone's always on. Email, I answer that within an hour, usually pretty quick there. So yeah, but the website's probably the best. All the information's under the About Us page, or testimonials. I got over 400 testimonials on my website too, from customers going back 14 years. So yeah.
Yeah. So can you repeat your website again for everyone who may
asapofficesupplies.com.
Okay, awesome. Chad, it's been absolutely amazing, entertaining, educational speaking with you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I've learned so many things, and I'm not even an entrepreneur, so it's clear that your lessons are literally far spread and can be applied to every situation. So we really appreciate you, and we really hope you get some coverage from this, because I think so many people need to learn the nuggets that you have to share.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great.
All right. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching BBB Trust Talks, and look forward to, seeing the next episode when it comes out. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.